What's up everybody? Okay, so today I want to chat to you guys about creativity and the struggles of being a very creative person. I would like to believe that I am a super creative person, actually a creative genius. I don't need somebody to tell me that. I don't need an award to validate that fact. I just know it. From the core of my being, I know that I am a very super creative person, and obviously that does come with a few disadvantages, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. Okay, so before I get straight into this, I have a problem. Okay, so the sun keeps going behind the clouds, so there might be a change of light every now and again, so that you guys are aware. But I'm gonna try and fix it as we go. Okay, so one of the issues that I have with being a creative genius is that, sometimes I see my surrounding as, as a creative inspiration as opposed to just a normal life. So I'd watch the news, I would listen to the news, or I would read the news, or I would be in a conversation with a friend or friends, or I would be at church, listening to a sermon. And instead of me receiving that information as, information, or as, inspiration or encouragement for my life, or a cautionary tale of some sort, I take that as a good story. I would say, oh my goodness, this could be like a great idea as this and that, and my brain starts thinking how whatever that person is saying can be, a good idea. So whenever I'm in a conversation, say with a friend, I tend to listen creatively as opposed to like emotionally and intellectually, and that has made me a little bit emotionally and intellectually disconnected in conversations, and that's terrible, especially when you want to connect with your friends. It's almost like I am exploiting them. Oh gosh. Okay, so the light is changing again. Now I'm a little bit dark. So I'm going to stop recording and wait for the sun to completely disappear because I cannot do this. Okay, so I'm back, and hopefully the sun has disappeared for good into the clouds. As a Christian as well, you go to church and you want to leave the service changed. It doesn't actually have to be going to church. It can be listening to a podcast or even a sermon online. Sometimes I just listen. Although I do receive certain things from the sermon, I do think creatively about the message. It's insane. And sometimes you just want to receive the word. You don't want to think creatively about anything. I also don't know if this is a problem that all creative geniuses go through, or if it's just me. Somebody might ask, how do I know if I'm a creative genius or I'm a super creative person? The answer is you will know. Because the way you see things is completely different. You see things creatively. I don't want to use this word, but you are very obsessive with ideas, with creativity, and your brain is just working overload, or rather overtime. And yeah, that's when you know that you are a super creative person. And sometimes your ideas, sometimes you think of ideas and you just write them down, and then you see them and you're like, shucks, me, like I would have actually done that had I been faster. But yeah, being a super creative person can be a little bit overwhelming, in that you're constantly thinking of ideas, and ideas are constantly coming left, right and center, because I don't know if we have filters, but I do feel like you learn how to manage that creative filter, which is something that I don't know. I don't know how to manage that creative filter, or that genius creative filter, so I don't know. Do you guys have suggestions? Are you a creative person or a super creative person, and you know how to manage that overflow of creative information? Yeah, let me know how you guys do that. And the other problem that I also have with being a super creative person is that because you are flooded with these ideas like constantly, you tend to not finish or complete your ideas, you know, like the stuff that you're writing down. You tend not to finish them because while you're busy fleshing out the idea that you just got, like making it into like a proper idea, like a proper story, you end up getting another idea from a different conversation or from watching like a movie or the news or reading something, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a really good idea. So you put that idea that you were busy with aside and you start on a new idea. That can be so stressful. You know why? Because although you have this pool of ideas, you don't see anything coming together because it's just flooded with unfinished work. It's like a warehouse full of unfinished stuff. It's like you're a shoemaker, right? And then you've got a warehouse because you keep having these ideas of like different designs. So you're busy with one shoe and then an idea comes and you put that shoe aside. It's unfinished. You put that shoe aside and you start on a new shoe, and then while you are talking with your friend and they tell you that, oh, I have a problem with this thing on my leg, and then you have, oh my gosh, that's a good idea. I might make a different shoe model with this add-on and it might solve that person's problem. And then another person comes and it just keeps coming, and you've got a warehouse full of like shoes, unfinished shoes. Although you can be like a genius shoemaker, nobody's gonna see your shoes because they are not finished. And that's my problem. That's the problem that I have as a super creative person. It's I cannot control or rather I cannot finish the ideas that I have. If I was in a better position of power, I probably would have people around me that I would give my ideas to, and then they work on them and then we work together on them, and not me all the time constantly like writing stuff, you know, fleshing things out together. And you know, it's massive when you're actually the only person doing all the hard work, you know. And that's my idea really. As a filmmaker, as a creative, I want to have like a pool of writers or creatives just around me because I am a super creative. And I'm not saying that I am a super creative person because, you know, I'm saying it or it's coming out of a place of pride or because I feel like I am better than anybody else because I have these ideas. No, I just know it, and I'm not comparing myself to anybody. Anybody can be a super creative person. I kind of feel like they are in their own way. They just maybe have found a way to like I said earlier, to have a creative filter where they shut anything creative and then they open it when they actually need to start thinking creatively. So yeah, that's my idea, just to have a pool of writers and creatives just around me, you know, just to work on these ideas, because I do feel like my ideas are valid, my ideas are right, and my ideas are genius. And I do feel like the world does need to see them and to hear them and to experience them. And yeah, so if you are in that position as well where you are over flooded with ideas, how do you deal with that as a creative, as a super creative? So yeah guys, let me know how you guys deal with an influx of, you know, creative ideas, or the habit of not finishing an idea because there was another idea on top of it. You know, that's the only thing that I'm struggling with. Although I do feel like I'm super creative, I have ideas and they just come flooding. I just need them to come alive, and that's the problem that I have at this point. Let's have a conversation. What do you guys think? What should I do different? So yeah, let me know, and hopefully some of these ideas you guys will see very, very soon, both on this channel and on your screens, in the cinema, and globally, okay? And I'm saying this prophetically because I do believe in the power of words, like I said in my other video. So yeah guys, see you guys soon, and cheers.